Brain Blast is going to be all about sleep. Now, sleep, what is it? It's something you do at night, and for some of us, quite a few times during the day. The old thing, nana naps and various things during the day, but sleep. It's kind of when you turn off. It's almost like being unconscious in many respects. But sleep has actually got a lot of things going on during its process. Now, the reasons why you might sleep during the day in times when it's not normal to sleep, now they're long and complicated, and that's interesting, and I've done a few lectures on that, and maybe those who are technically interested, they can have a look at some of my stuff on richardhill.com.au. But looking here at just average blokes, just us and ladies and gentlemen out there trying to get a good night's sleep. Why do you do it? Well, first of all, it changes the brain. You move into a whole different phase. You move from that daytime alert, awake, self-directed phase into this sort of non-conscious phase where you are actually doing something very important. And during the sleep cycle, we are actually transferring information from our hippocampus, the area that sort of looks after memory and short-term memory, and we're transferring information between there and the cortex and connecting that, making connections, to other parts of the brain in order to try and make increased sense of our life, increased knowledge, increased awareness, as well as just remembering the facts and details. So that's something that goes on through the night. And we have several stages in our sleep, everything from very, very deep sleep to, you've probably heard of the REM cycle, the dreaming sleep. And this is really one of the very important areas of transfer of information from hippocampus to cortex, as well as in the very deep sleep areas. And the other thing, which is really just amazing, only just come out in the last couple of years, they found that during sleep, all the neurons in the brain, and there's a bunch of them, I mean, they talk about 100 billion in the brain. Well, someone actually really did very precise research, and it's pretty close to that. It's about 86 billion. That's the count. I just want to be the person who counted them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, I'm sure they got round to it. But anyway, these neurons all tightly packed during the day, doing a lot of activity. And there's all kinds of things that come off because of the activity, and damaged neurons and things that break, and they actually loosen up a little bit during sleep so that the fluid, the cerebrospinal fluid, can flush through the brain and flush out a lot of the nasties, and that goes off, and then your immune system, the glial cells, the microglial cells, eat them all up and chew them all up and spit them out and get rid of them. And this is really important when it comes to things like aging senility and Alzheimer's. You probably heard amyloid betas and various different things. They get caught up in amongst the neurons, and at sleep they open and you flush. So really, really useful to sleep. But we're not doing it. We're losing our sleep. We're sleeping less. We stay up later. We watch TV. We watch our iPad. We watch the whatever's going on. We're downloading or uploading or inloading or outloading. Now, if you're watching this Brain Blast really late at night, you shouldn't be, but at least it's only a few minutes long and you can get to sleep. But this screen that we use produces a blue light. This particularly the screen for computers and for iPads and for various other forms of computers. They have a blue light, and this is really not good. And this triggers the brain into thinking that it's still daytime. And what you want to do is you want things to get darker and more mellow and more the red and yellow flames, candlelight, firelight. All these things trigger what's called melatonin, which then enables your system to go to sleep. Now, you don't want a lot of that light. You don't want a lot of sound about, because obviously that's going to stimulate you, and particularly banging sounds, because of course they make you feel as though, quite rightly, that something might be wrong, and your system goes, ooh, is that a saber-toothed tiger? And equally bright lights. We're not designed to have light at night. There's a wonderful Goon Show thing, I think, where he says, and it was dark. He said, excellent conditions for night. And these sort of obvious things are becoming less obvious now, particularly when you live in the city and go to the city where there's so many billboards and lights and everything's lit up all the time, and our brains get very confused. Now, you need to exercise and eat in a good way. And there's lots of places, and you can see in the Amazing Brain 3.0 website, there's things about eating and also some things about exercise. And it's really important not to have those stimulants just before you go to bed. Now, some people can drink a cup of coffee before they go to bed, but a lot of people it's not real good. So watch what you're doing. But there are other stimulants. Alcohol is another stimulant. Even though some alcohols will put you to sleep, some alcohols will keep you wide awake. No eating carbs after 7 p.m. This is good advice, sometimes difficult. There's things you can have, but gee, that late night snack with that snack with that cake and, ooh, you know, a little bit of a Mars bar late at night. Oh, you know, not to mention what it's doing for your obesity problems and weight and things. But they're just a few of them. So reduce the blue light, reduce the amount of sound, reduce the amount of light, exercise and eat okay. Don't drink stimulating coffees, no carbs after 7 p.m. These are beautiful things to do. But okay, you wake up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God, what's happened? I've ruined my life. My whole world is falling apart. Actually, no. We've got a long history of sleeping in two sections, maybe 4 or 5 hours, then getting up and sort of being a little bit somnambulistic, a little bit quiet, and then going back to sleep again. So as long as you go back to sleep quietly, fairly quickly after you've been up in the middle of the night, you know, as you get older, sometimes there's various reasons why you have to get up in the middle of the night. That's okay. It's waking up quickly, doing what needs to be done, and going back to sleep quickly, which is the important thing. So sleep. Give your memories a chance to get into the cortex so that you're smarter and aware, and let them connect with other parts of your brain so you become more insightful. Those wonderful things when you wake up in the morning with this, oh my God, I've had this great dream and I think this new thing. And also, let the neurons separate so we can flush out all the nasties so that we don't cause damage to the brain. So sleep's an important one, and you know, if you want us to do a 12-week program on that, just show us in the comments below that would be something you'd really like to get some greater insight into. And if you're keen, we'll do that, and we'll put it up in the Amazing Brain 3.0 website for you to improve your sleep. So this Brain Blast is all about sleep. See ya.